Did everybody say hello? What was that again?
Hello and welcome to Turkey Chats. We're so excited you're here. I'm Brittany Sweeney, Communications Manager with the Livestock Conservancy, and here with me today is Lisa Pregent with Mount Vernon. We're so excited you're here. Thanks for joining us, Lisa.
Hi, Brittany. Thank you.
Yeah, we are missing Jeanette today. She's our resident poultry expert, but she's on the road with her super cute dog, Amelie. So she said she might call in, but I don't think so. You know, internet is hard and driving and being safe and all those things. But we're super excited to talk turkey on the very last day of Turkey Month. We're talking about the new Narragansett turkeys at Mount Vernon, which is super, super exciting. Jeanette and I and Amelie, her puppy, drove all the way up to Virginia a while back and dropped off a couple ladies for our friend Roger, who's up there. Before we get started with our conversation today, I want to say a big thank you to Heritage Foods USA for sponsoring Turkey Chats this month. We appreciate you. And a big thank you to all of our members and supporters for making chats like this possible. You're tuning in and listening to us talk and providing questions and suggestions is always a great way for us to figure out what's exciting to y'all. So a big thank you. And thank you for tuning in on Giving Tuesday. We're trying to blow up your news feed with some fun turkey stuff amongst all the other things that you've got going on. That's my big promo spiel, but you're not here to listen to me. You're here to listen to Lisa. Lisa, do you want to introduce yourself real quick and tell us a little bit about Mount Vernon?
Sure. My name is Lisa Pregent. I am the livestock manager here at George Washington's Mount Vernon. I've been here about 26 years now, and took over the department as manager back in 2004. So during that time, the program has grown significantly with the Heritage Breed program. We raise Hog Island sheep, Milking Devon cattle. We've got American Mammoth Jackstock donkey, Ossabaw Island hogs, and now the Narragansett turkeys, which we're so excited to have here on the farm.
That's so cool. So we'll start off with some easy questions. Who first brought turkeys to Mount Vernon?
Well, we think, that the women in colonial times tended to the poultry. So their chickens, the turkeys, the geese, the lady of the estate tended to those birds. So George Washington was a bachelor here for a little while. And we think that when he married Martha, he asked to have some poultry brought to the estate for her to care for. So we think at that time, the chickens were brought in, the turkeys were brought in, possibly some geese and other feathered fowl. But, before that, there was no record of him having any poultry. So we think, with the addition of Martha to the plantation, that the turkeys were brought in as well.
All right, go Martha, yay.
Yeah.
We're excited she kept turkeys. So now you guys can keep turkeys. That's awesome. Why do you think it's important to bring turkeys back to the farm?
I think poultry are probably one of the most underrated animals on a farm. There's not a lot that you can do as far as interpretation with them, working in a living history museum like Mount Vernon. We have horses here and we're able to plow with the horses and demonstrate, wheat treading. The oxen, they've got a working job. The sheep, we shear all of them in front of the public. So I think poultry, just kind of a little underrated. And they did play a huge role back in colonial times. They provided eggs, they provided meat for the table. And so bringing turkeys back to the property, we can kind of do a passive interpretation about the importance of poultry, and turkeys are absolutely hilarious. You walk by, they're gobbling and they're carrying on, making all sorts of noises. So it even brings in, the youngest of visitors, and attracts them to learning a little bit more about the livestock.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know when we were driving them up, they were chatting at us and having a little committee meeting. They always make me laugh, and it's always so funny. Like, whenever you walk by them, they got something to say.
Yes. And I mean, Roger, we've got everybody back in our modern facility right now. So, we're walking down the barn aisle and we're telling a joke or, thinking that we're the funniest person. And Roger's just back there, gobble, gobble, gobble. And, he's laughing at our jokes. It makes us feel great.
They have a great laugh.
I am funny.
Yes, I needed that validation today.
Exactly.
That's awesome. You talked a little bit about the job of the turkey on the farm. Were they used for anything other than just table birds? Do they have any other jobs?
The chickens, I know chickens were often used in between rows of crops. They had what were called day coops. You place the bird inside the day coop and they'd move through, eat bugs and pests and insects, things like that. Turkeys provided meat. They were used for their eggs, for their feathers, quills and things like that. So yeah, everything kind of had multiple jobs on the farm. That's
cool. Yeah, I forgot about quills for writing.
Yeah, they've got some big feathers.
That's true. That's awesome. So how easy is it to keep Narragansett turkeys?
So far, it's been pretty easy. We're hoping it kind of stays that way. They are currently residing in a stall in our modern livestock facility. So while we have the turkey yard up in the exhibition area reconstructed, they are staying back here at the barn with us. So we've got a netting over top of the stall to make sure they don't fly out, and they have a roost and everything, hopefully, that they would need. We try to give them a couple of little enrichment toys to keep them busy. But so far, they've been really easy. And hopefully, once they get into the historic area, it stays that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome. Anybody watching, it's easy to keep turkeys. You should definitely do it.
Yes.
It's fun. So you were talking a little bit about the pen. What will the new turkey pen look like? Will it be different from keeping turkeys historically, like Martha would have done? Do you have any?
We've done some research. Our wonderful preservation team, they've been doing research on colonial poultry yards, and then trying to design something that would look very similar. So most of the time, it would be a paling with a pointed end. I think our yard is going to be about 20 feet by 20 feet ish. And then, the coop design, we haven't designed the coop yet. Trying to keep in mind, the birds and what's easy for the birds, as well as keeping it historically accurate. So that's still a design in progress. But the yard will hopefully look nice. We hope that anybody that comes to Mount Vernon will take a peek and really enjoy seeing the Narragansetts here.
That's awesome. That's really cool that it's still in the design phase and you get to be a part of that.
It's been fun.
That's awesome. Let's see. So Roger and his 3 ladies, will they be part of a breeding group?
Eventually, maybe, yes. We're not, as of right now, not going into it with this breeding in mind. It is something that we would like to entertain, definitely down the road. But right now, just getting turkeys back onto the farm, getting everybody used to working with turkeys again, having turkeys here, showing them off to the public and kind of, telling their story. And then, eventually we would like to welcome some little baby Narragansetts to the property and try to help, with the preservation of a rare breed. They are really cool birds. So we would definitely like to get other folks interested in raising them.
Absolutely. We hope so. Turkeys need help.
They do. They do. They need help and they need love, just like all the other critters.
Absolutely. So does Roger's ladies have a name, or you haven't decided yet, or are you going to leave it open to the public?
Yeah. We've been throwing around some names, at the lunch table here and there, trying to keep the theme of, New England, and we just haven't settled on anything yet. But when we do, I will certainly let you know.
Oh, I know people will be super excited. Do you want to tell people how Roger got his name?
Well, Roger came with the name, but Roger Williams was the founder of up in Rhode Island of was it Narragansett Bay? My history on that part is rough, so you'll have to excuse me.
That's okay. I think it was Jeanette who named him for the stamp ceremony, and I think Narragansetts are from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
So Roger was a significant figure in Rhode Island.
Yes, that part of my history is a little rough, so you have to excuse me.
That makes two of us. So okay. Jeanette's gonna watch this and she'll be like, "How did you forget?"
How do you not know this?
Jeanette, we love you. I'm sorry, I forgot. Let's see. What other questions did she send me? If anybody else has questions, please let us know. We would love to ask questions for you. I'm going through Jeanette's list. How does Mount Vernon staff feel about the new turkeys?
I think most everybody in the livestock department is absolutely in love with these birds. Like you said, when Roger got here for the stamp ceremony, and we realized that he didn't really have a home to go to afterwards, and we were like, oh, we'll take him, sure, he's really cute and he talks a lot, and just didn't realize how attached we would get, I guess. And he is, we put him in with a couple of our other chickens and just to keep him company. And he's just in there and he's gobbling all the time and he's making all these noises, and we go out and give him treats, and just didn't really expect to form that big of an attachment to a turkey. So everybody's happy that he's here, and that obviously the hens are here now. So yeah, I think everyone's really excited about kind of upping our game in the poultry department here.
Yeah. I think you said you're doing turkey training with people.
Turkey training. I guess.
Maybe I heard that wrong. You're like, no, we're not actually doing that. Never mind. I think I've got a couple photos that I can share. Let's see. So big thank you and shout out to Max Stone on the left here, who donated the 3 hens that went to Mount Vernon. Mac is from Elmwood Stock Farm, and there's Jeanette on the right, and they're holding 2 of the hens. And then if anybody was at the stamp ceremony, you would have seen Roger here with Jeanette in the beautiful mansion at Mount Vernon. And this might be my favorite of Lisa's so excited to get Roger. It was fabulous. It was such a fun event and such a fun day.
it was wonderful. We all had a really great time, and seeing, all of the rare breeds kind of in one area. It was brilliant.
Awesome. All right, I think you've got a few questions. Are you ready for some?
Sure.
Excellent. Hi, Jean. Jean says hi. Hello, everyone. We're so glad you're here, Jean. Thanks for tuning in today. Hi, Vernon. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Vernon says hello from Maryland. Vernon also wants to know, do the heritage breeds reproduce naturally?
Yes. Yes, they do. Unlike, a lot of modern breeds, they are artificially inseminated because they are too big to naturally breed. So the heritage animals, they do breed naturally.
I think that's part of the definition for heritage turkeys. Great question, Vernon. Thanks. Hi, Damara. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Damara wants to know, how long has it been since Mount Vernon had turkeys?
Oh, it has been, it's been well over 10 years, probably pushing 15 years. I think the last turkeys we had some bronze, and we had some Spanish black. And the last Tom we had was he was a bronze turkey, and he was evil. He was pure evil. So we couldn't put him in the historic area. He had to live back. We had a huge coop for him back here. But even for us to go in and feed him and try to clean out his coop, he would attack. So,
oh no,
to have more nicer, friendlier birds.
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you. Hi, Xander. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Xander says, what do you look for in a good breeding turkey?
With that, I'm not 100% sure about. Again, I'm still, getting back into the turkey business. But I would imagine, that there would be a breed standard for the Narragansett. Am I right?
Yes, there should be. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever the breed standard is, I would imagine, the broodiness of the hen. Again, help me out, Brittany. I am not really sure.
I am pulling up the page now, but yes, you would want to follow the breed standard for any bird, especially turkeys that you're going to breed. And they're usually listed by the APA, the American Poultry Association. You definitely want broody hens that are going to sit on their own chicks. You want them to mate naturally. I'm going to put this page up for the Narragansett turkey so that you can go and look for more information there, because I am not a poultry expert. But this is a great question, and I'm so glad that you asked. Just be 1 second. There we go. So you can go to our main livestockconservancy.org page, and if you go to the heritage breeds section, there should be a drop down for turkeys, and you can find the Narragansett turkey there. And that's NARRAGANSETT-turkey. And there should be all the standards there that you want to meet in order to find good breeding stock. Because you want to pass on the good genes.
Yes.
All right, let's see. I think we've got a couple more. Hi, Richard. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Richard says, hailing from South Carolina. All right, we got the North and the South represented. That's exciting. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Megan says, what sort of enrichment can you provide for turkeys? Oh, that's a great question. Oops, sorry, hold on.
That's a great question. There's things like forage cakes, and we give pumpkins and things that they can pick at, dig around, scratching, and trying to find food. I think one of our staff members bought a little ball, and you stuff it full of like turkey grit or treats or food, whatever, and they can roll it around, and kind of like dogs, it'll drop food out. So, you know, just trying to make life a little more interesting for them right now while they're, you know, just in a stall.
That's so fun. A little dog treat bowl. I should try that for my chickens. I just give them like handfuls of free-dried, what are they called? Mealworms, and they like go nuts.
Yeah, we when the cicadas were here over the summer, they had a field day with the cicadas.
I bet. I used to have this cat that would like grab him and then shake his head, and then it would make that buzzing noise. He just thought it was the best thing in the world, and it was so annoying. Like,
yeah, a little squeaky toy.
Basically. Thank you, Megan. That was a great question. Hold on. There we go. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here. Amy says, what are you feeding them? What do you feed your turkeys?
They get it's a turkey feed. I can't remember the percentage of protein in it, but they get the turkey feed. They do get some cracked corn and other seeds. It's kind of like a scratch grain. They get pumpkin. They get you know, leftover fruit and stuff from the gardens or from our lunches. You know, Roger's he really likes blackberries.
Nice.
So we kind of throw some blackberries in for him to find. But yeah, that's pretty much their diet.
Nice. Yeah, I think most poultry have the higher protein diets. Yeah. All right, that's all our questions for now. If y'all have any more questions, feel free to write them in. We love to answer those for you today. Thanks to everybody that already wrote in. We appreciate you. I think Jeanette sent me a couple more questions. Let's see. What do you think the impact of the birds, of the new turkeys, will be at Mount Vernon?
Well, I'm hoping it will be a good one. Like you said, we haven't had turkeys in a long time.
Nice turkeys.
Yes, nice turkeys at that. So having them in the historic area when they eventually are able to move up to their new pen, and just being able to educate, you know, the visitors about, you know, not only turkeys but the heritage breeds and the importance of saving these rare breeds. We are right in the middle of the suburbs. You know, we're 18 miles south of DC, maybe. So a lot of folks in this area have not seen, you know, a live pig before, or a turkey, or, you know, a horse up close. So, you know, being able to introduce these animals to young children, to adults, and then, you know, discussing the importance of livestock in colonial America and the heritage breed aspect of it, you know, that's kind of our main goal is to educate. And if one person walks out of here and they say, hey, gosh, remember those turkeys at Mount Vernon? We did our job. So that's that is what we're hoping these turkeys will do, is just kind of continue telling the story of George Washington.
Absolutely. It's hard to forget them. They're so striking and such a fun story, and, you know, it's so important. I know when I was little and I would go to visit farms, turkeys were always my favorite, and I was always like right at eye level. My mom was like, "Are you afraid of the turkeys?" And I was like, "No, I love them. Like, they're just my size." Like,
oh, I tell you, that old bird that we had that was so mean. I would not want to be eye level around.
I think it's different as an adult. Like, I'm definitely not fearless anymore. Like,
exactly.
So funny. Well, is there anything else you think people should know about Narragansett turkeys or Mount Vernon or Martha and her wonderful poultry?
No, I just we're really looking forward to having them and getting them out, into the historic area and around people so they can see them. And to be able to continue telling that story. When George Washington was away during the Revolutionary War, there is some documentation of Martha buying turkeys. We don't know exactly what for. We assume it was to continue raising and breeding them here. There's just not a whole lot of documentation, and certainly about the breeds. We know the Narragansett was around during the time. Was the Narragansett actually at Mount Vernon? We don't know. But in looking at turkeys and wanting to get back into the poultry business, this is, Roger just he was perfect. We hope that once we get them in the historic area, and if you're coming to Mount Vernon, please stop in, say hi. You can tell a really bad joke, and hopefully, he'll laugh at it.
I'm sure he will. He's just that great.
He's wonderful.
Awesome. I think we've had a couple more questions come in. Let's see. Megan wants to know, what sort of protection do they need when they go out on the historic area? Do they need netting or to be closed in at night?
Yes. So the chicken yard will be covered with poultry netting. We do have quite a few hawks and eagles here, as well as coyotes and foxes and all the other kind of predators. So we want to keep them as safe as possible. So poultry netting definitely over. We don't want the birds getting out. We don't want anything getting in. And then, being closed up at night to protect them. So.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Megan. Vernon says, compatibility, talk growth rate, and size. How big do they get?
Roger's probably 30 pounds, maybe 30. I would say 30, 35 pounds. So, we used to get the presidential pardon turkeys. After they were pardoned by the president, they would come here and they would live. And those were the broad-breasted white turkeys. And they were 50 pounds at 20 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow.
So, these guys, all heritage breeds tend to grow a lot slower than most modern. But I think, Roger's 2 or 3 years old, and he's probably maybe 35 pounds, if I'm guessing.
That sounds right. I think according to the website, their market weight is usually 14 to 23 pounds. So that sounds right.
Okay, then he's probably.
But he's a little bigger, and toms are usually on the big end.
he might be around 30 pounds at that.
Great question.
Definitely smaller, but worth it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vernon. Let's see. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Lisa, is there anything you want to promote? We'll do our shameless plugs here at the end.
No, just hope that you can come out to Mount Vernon. You can see all of the heritage animals that we have, the sheep, the cattle, the pigs, and now the turkeys. So hopefully we see you soon.
Absolutely. You've heard it here. Go to Mount Vernon, say hey to Lisa and all the heritage animals and all the wonderful staff there that make it all happen. They're amazing. You can go to their website. It's Mount Vernon. So it's MountVernon.org. So go there, book a trip, have a tour, see all the amazing things.
We also have a camel right now.
All right.
We have a camel here through the 1st of January. So you come by and say hello to Aladdin.
That's so funny. Are you doing camel rides, or you're just petting him, or just?
Oh yeah, he's just in a field. George Washington brought a camel onto the estate on Christmas Day to entertain his guests. So Aladdin is here to
entertain the guests.
So yes,
that's so fun. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Let's see. I've got a few more shout outs here. A big thank you to Max Stone and Elmwood Stock Farm again for donating the 3 hens. If you want to know more about Mac and Elmwood Stock Farm, you can go to their website. It's ELMWOODSTOCKFARM.com. And if you want to know more specifically about turkeys, go there /turkeys. And you can learn all about the heritage Narragansetts they've got there on farm. You can also find them on Facebook and Instagram at Elmwood Stock Farm. And a big shout out to Harry and Gail Groot at Sunrise Valley Farm for donating the Narragansett Tom. I keep getting Tom and Roger mixed up. I'm so sorry. Yes, Harry and Gail Groot donated the Tom Narragansett named Roger. So big shout out to them. Go to the website on Facebook at Sunrise Valley Farm, all one word, to learn more about them. And that's SUNRISE Valley, VALLEYFARM. This is for anybody that's listening in on the podcast. It's hard to see audio. And then big shout out to everybody that's already a member and a supporter of the Livestock Conservancy. If you're not, it's Giving Tuesday, and we encourage you to become a breed saver and donate online. And that's livestockconservancy.org. And I think that's going to wrap up all of our shameless plugs for today. A big thank you to everybody for tuning in, and big thank you to Lisa for talking with us about Narragansett turkeys. Before we go, I've got a little clip of Roger and his ladies from when we dropped them off in Virginia. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. I'm just going to play it real quick, and then we'll say goodbye. Have a great afternoon, y'all. Yay! All right, everyone, have a great afternoon, and we will see you next week to talk about geese. Get excited. Yay! Have a good one. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.